So welcome to day 8 of this challenge. Power Pilates is what we'll be focusing on today. We'll be moving through each of our exercises a little bit quicker with more intensity and more focus. So we have a selection of 2 sets of exercises. Before that, we're going to go through our warm-up just to get the body ready for the task at hand, and then we'll enter the main phase of today. So finishing off as always with a nice cool down, and that will set you up for the rest of your day, or hopefully cap your day with a beautiful finish. So join me on the mat as we begin. We're going to start off in a seated position. We're going for a nice seated bend. So take a deep breath in, extend through the arms, big stretch overhead. And then we're going to set the left hand down on the ground. And as you exhale, relax the shoulders and send the hand over to the left. Anchor the hips and gently pull that top shoulder back so we open the chest. When you breathe in, make sure you open the right edge of the body for the stretch. With the next breath in, let it lengthen the spine, and we're going to transition over to the other side. So by anchoring the hips down, that's going to help keep the stretch in the edge of the body. The moment that you lift up, you lose that focus. So stay anchored and inhale, lift all the way up to the top. One beautiful stretch, and exhale, set the hands down on the ground. We're coming onto all fours, flexing the feet. Bring the knees beneath the hips, hands beneath the shoulders, and just set your hips back towards your heels to stretch out the lower foot. I said lower foot, the soles of your feet and the calf muscles as well. So as always, relax the shoulders away from the ears, and then gently push through both arms. And then we're going to lift our hips coming into downward dog and set the hips towards the back of the mat. Enjoying the stretch through the back of the legs. Begin to pedal the feet, stretching and alternating between the legs. Take those deep breaths in through the nostrils and then breathing out through pursed lips. Find some stillness in your downward dog. And then we're going to transition through tabletop, set the knees down and bring the hips back to child's pose. Inhale, roll up through the spine, hips come up and back into down dog. And then gently transition down to the ground for child's pose. We're going to do 2 more of these. Rocking up, hips come up and back. Shifting forwards, knees down. Child's pose. Last one. So we're going to take the right leg up and back, and then draw the knee into the chin, set the right foot down on the ground, and float the back heel down. And we're lifting our chest up. You can bring the hands onto the front thigh, shift the weight forwards, but keep the chest up over the hips. You're looking for a stretch through the back thigh. And then inhale, lengthen the back leg. You might need to shift the heel forward slightly as we come into a half split. Nice and long through the spine, hinging forwards at the hips. Inhale, rebend the front knee, send the arms overhead. And then exhale, shift the hips back for half split. Let's do 2 more, transitioning from the kneeling lunge into the half split. Last one. Hold the back split for 2 breaths. That's a back split, half split, forgive me. And then let's bend through the front leg, transition through plank, over to the other side. So set the front foot down, float the back knee, lift through the chest, coming into a kneeling lunge, deepen the stretch, chest up nice and tall, and then shift the hips back for half split, hinging forwards. Float the arms overhead as you rebend the front leg for kneeling lunge, and then shift the hips back for your half split. So 2 more. One side may feel a little bit tighter than the other. That's okay. As we warm up, we aim to even that out. Last lunge. Float the hands down to the ground for a final half split. And then shift your weight forwards and transition through plank into downward dog. Bend through the knees, eyes to fingers. Walk the feet towards the hands. And take the feet shoulder width apart. Toes turned out slightly in your forward fold. And bend through the knees, lift the chest, coming into your deep squat. And then extend the legs, lifting through the hips for forward fold. We'll do 4 more of these. You're trying to find loads of space through the inside of the hips. Gently warming up tops of the thighs, the knees, mobilizing the ankles. Last one, we're going to finish in a forward fold. And then heel toe the feet in together. Roll up through the spine. Circle the arms overhead. And then float the arms down by your side. Roll the shoulders back and shake out the legs. So we're going to begin with a squat first. So I want your feet hip width apart, toes facing forward as we perform a Pilates squat. So we're going to extend the arms forwards as we sit back into our squat. And then exhale through pursed lips, press the hands back as we stand. Control through the movement, keeping the chest lifted and that connection with the breath as you sit and stand into your squat. Find a depth that works well for you. And even as you float the arms forwards, keep the shoulders relaxed and drawn away from the ears. Make sure you've got good connection through the soles of the feet, all 10 toes and the heels. Beautiful. Just a few more seconds. The final squat. And then float the arms overhead. We're reaching overhead. And then draw the elbows down, sink into our squat. And exhale, press overhead. So as you draw downwards, you're squeezing the elbows into the rib cage, pinching the shoulder blades as you do. And again, we're still working the tops of our thighs and our legs, but you want to keep the core engaged, chest nice and tall. So if you're standing on a mat, what helps is if you're looking at the space just above the top edge of the mat, and that's going to help keep that nice long posture through the neck and out of the crown of the head. Last one, big reach. Float the arms down and step to the back of your mat. Roll the shoulders down as you fold forwards. Pull out the hands on the ground and walk out into a plank Option to drop to the knees and then walk the hands back in to the feet and roll up through the spine. Reach overhead, float the arms down. So working through these walkouts, you have the option to perform a full plank, reaching through the arms as you do, relax the shoulders, or a plank from the knees. That's it. Stay connected with the breath as you transition from your feet to the hands. Last one, big stretch. Take a wide stance for plie squats, toes turn out. And as you sit back into your squat, extend the arms out by your side, then overhead, come up off your heels to balance in your plie squat. Down, reach through the fingertips, extend overhead. So you're looking to keep your core engaged, stability as you come up onto your toes. Nice and straight through the spine as you sit back. And squeezing the calves as you rise. You're doing beautifully. Maintain that control. Even if you fall or float back down to the heels, that's okay. Last stretch and relax. Roll the shoulders back. We're hinging forwards at the hips, nice and long through the spine. Extend the arms out to your side, and you're pinching the shoulder blades, pulsing as you do, gently pulling the arms back. Imagine you're peering over a ledge or flapping like a bird. What you want to do is keep the shoulders drawn down and away from the ears. All the focus is in the upper back. Just a little longer, 15 seconds. Feel the burn, but keep that control. We're almost there. Last second, and relax, roll up through the spine, roll the shoulders back. So we're going for a T-spine with a balance. For this, extend the arms out in front of you, relax through the shoulders. We're opening the arms, lifting the knees. Take your time, heel, option to keep your toes down, heel off of the ground, or lift the knee all the way up. We're alternating from side to side, maintaining that control as you twist and lift. So you're turning towards the elevated leg, working into your obliques as you twist. And if you lose that balance, try not to rush. Take your time. Last twist and relax. Float the arms down by your side. Gently roll the arms back and then roll down to the ground. Take a seated position. So you're bringing your feet together and then lifting through the torso. Extend the arms. Roll down halfway, tucking the tailbone, and then roll up. Try to keep the feet grounded. As you roll down, you're trying to work into your abs, rolling up. Length through the spine as you roll up. C curve through the back of the spine as you roll down. Stay connected with the breath. Roll down one final time, hold, roll up, and relax. Beautiful. Shake out the shoulders, shake out the arms. We're coming into a plank position for our second lot of exercises. for shoulder taps. Option to do this with the knees down from tabletop or full plank. Feet hip width apart, and then you're tapping the shoulders as you lift one arm off the ground. So the slower the movement, which is what we're looking for, means that you can focus on keeping your core engaged and the hips and shoulders stable. So what you're looking to do is maintain good alignment and that nice square box. One more tap on each shoulder to finish off nice and strong. And then float the knees down, roll the shoulders back. So going for a downward dog with knee pulls. So meet me in your downward dog, and then draw the right leg up, and then draw the knee in as you transition to plank, and then extend back and lower the leg, switch side, lift, and then pull into chin and back into your downward dog. So even as you lift the leg for that three-legged dog, you want to keep the hips from rolling back and the shoulders from twisting. Let's do one more each side. And then set the knees down. And rest. Oh, beautiful work. So we're going for a nice Pilates push-up. So we're starting from our plank position. Nice and strong. Squeeze the elbows in. Bend at the elbows. Chest comes halfway. Big push. Walk the hands back to your feet. And roll up. Rolling back down, walking the hands out into your plank position. Hands remain beneath the chest. You can do this from your knees as well. As you push for a bit more stability, you have an option. Roll up. Let's do one more to finish off. And set back. Take a quick sip of water if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to move into our next exercise. In a standing position, we're going through a back lunge. So, feet hip width apart if that works for you, or slightly wider for greater stability. Take a step back into your lunge, bend through both knees, keep the chest up over the hips, and stand into your lunge. Float the arms forwards as you step back into your lunge, and be sure not to let the back knee touch the ground. You're reaching through the fingertips as you step back. Exhaling on the way up, inhaling on the way down. Keep going. Stay connected with the breath. You're almost there. Last one. And shake it off. Roll out the wrist if you need it. So we have donkey kicks. We're rolling down to the ground onto hands and knees. And then we're taking one leg off the ground, keeping that nice right angle through the knee, kicking back, and then drawing the knee to elbow. Drive the knee back, heel up to the ground, keeping the core engaged, and making sure that this exercise isn't drawing into the lower back. So you're squeezing the glutes, keeping the core engaged. Push strongly through the arms to keep the chest lifted away from the ground. Last one, stay connected with the breath. And set the knee down. Shift back, relax, roll out the wrist a little bit, and then we're going to do the opposite side. So join in Find your center, engage your core. And then let's take the right leg off the ground. Draw into the elbow, tap and kick. Be sure to keep the hips down so they're both facing the mat, square on. Last kick. Draw the knee in and then set the knee down. Roll off the wrists and shake them off. Okay, coming down onto our back. Down onto our bellies. Forehead down. Pulling the arms back. Palms facing down. Squeeze the thighs together and then lift chest and head off the ground, pulling the arms back and hold. Squeeze the arms up to the sky as we begin to pump them, squeezing the triceps as we do. You're drawing the hip bones down into the ground, engaging the core so the belly button's lifting up into the spine. Squeezing into your lower back. Shoulders drawn away from the ears, pumping those triceps. Stay with me, keep your chest lifted, and pause, roll down to the ground. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders, flex the feet, and then gently press back into your child's pose. Point the toes and set the knees wider than the hips. Gently rocking side to side, loosening up and decompressing the lower back. And then find some stillness in your child's pose. Walk the fingertips to the top of your mat, stretching your lats. Sinking the hips towards your heels as you do. And then take the hands off the left edge of your mat for a side bend. And then transition through the center over to the right. Then coming back to center, rolling up through the spine and coming into a kneeling position to finish off. Beautiful work. Wonderful, well done. And that's it for today's challenge. I'll see you tomorrow as we begin our next day. Until then, rest up. Catch you later. Peace.